How's everybody doing today? We're back with another quick chess tips video, and today we're going to focus on, it's actually an opening line and it's a gambit. How do I flip the board here? There we go, flip the board around. And it's a gambit in the Scandinavian Defense. So I'll show you that real quick. E4, D5, this is the Scandinavian. And then E takes D5, knight F6. And then if in this position white plays C4, black has a gambit here that is very good for him. And that is C6. Now, why is this good? Well, if white takes it, it's extremely good for black, and white's best option is just to decline the gambit and just play D4. And then after C takes D5, we're in a Panov-Botvinnik structure, which is a mainline opening. But if he chooses not to go into that and instead takes the pawn, after this, why is this good for black, and what advantages does he have? Well, black's down a pawn, but he has tremendous positional compensation. As you can see, white has a backward pawn on D2, right? We see that backward pawn on D2, and he has a hole on D4, which right now he's controlling, and he'll control further with an E5 push. Also, he's more developed since he has two pieces developed where white has none, and he'll have very active pieces. So, I can just show you an example of what could occur in this line. Knight F3 for white, E5, clamping down on the D4 square, D3, now E4. This is a very common push in this structure. When you have a lead in development, you usually want to quickly take advantage of it. So he's trying to quickly bust open the position to take advantage of this. He'll play Queen E, he played Queen E2 to pin the pawn, right? And black just gives him another pawn, continues to develop. Bishop G4. He's not worried about losing this pawn because of his active pieces, and you'll see that this is a good idea. After he takes the pawn, Knight D4, more pieces coming in. Queen to D3. Knight takes F3 check. Pawn takes. Queen takes queen. Bishop takes. Bishop takes F3. White castles. And now black castles queenside. And again, he gains another tempo. He hits the bishop on D3. So as of right now, we can see black's king is completely safe, right? Black's king's completely safe here. White's king, on the other hand, isn't looking so good because of this bishop. And we have three pieces developed. We have a rook, a knight, and a bishop, compared to white's one piece, which is now attacked. So we can kind of get an idea of why black is better in this position. He plays bishop C2, and then we take the pawn. He takes it, and we take it. And now, it's even material, but black has the two bishops here, as you can see, in a somewhat open position. And as we know, open positions tend to favor bishops. And another advantage in black's favor is the fact that if you look at white's pawns on H2 and F2, his pawns aren't looking so hot there, right? And then black's pawns are completely fine. He has a great structure. And I'll show you the finish of this game. The finish of this game is worth checking out. Knight C3, bishop F3, taking the D1 square. He plays bishop E3, rook to D6, a great move, swinging the rook to G6 now to take advantage of this king. He moves the rook out of the way. He checks him. He plays king F1. He comes in with rook G2, hits the pawn on H2. He says, okay, I'm going to take this pawn on A7. He takes this pawn, threatening again mate in 1, rook to H1 mate. He plays king E1 to try to run away. Now we play bishop B4, pin the knight, and also open up this other rook to come out. So after this blunder by white, A3, black finishes off the game with one move, a really strong move. And it would be fitting he develops his last piece. Rook D8, game over. There's no stopping rook H1, checkmate. So in this position, white resigned. So as you can see, this is a very strong gambit in this opening, in the Scandinavian. So if your opponent ever does try to hold on to the pawn like that, you know that this gambit exists, and you know that it's good for black. You get a lot of positional advantages, and you get elite development. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please do subscribe if you haven't already, and thanks for watching, guys.